This lecture is huge. However, it does not introduce any new Python tools, and so you can consider this to be optional if you like. In it, I am going to be developing a program from the beginning. I'm going to figure out what information I need to read, and I need to figure out how I'm going to store it and what functions I'm going to write. This is meant to give you a taste of the thought process that I go through when I write a program. This file contains a bunch of assignment 1 grades. There's a header, followed by a blank line, followed by a list of student number and grade on assignment 1. We would like to know the distribution of these grades, so we're going to keep track of categories. How many ended up in the range 0 to 9, 10 to 19, 20 to 29, and so on. And we will have also a category for the people who got 100. We ultimately, in this program, want to create a new file containing this information, and also 1 star for each grade that was in that range. So we see a 77.5. That means that in our output file, we'd like a star there. There's a 37.5, that's in that range. We see a 62.5, a 72.5, so we have 2 numbers in the 70 range so far. There's 100. We've got a 55, 95, something in the 80s, something in the 90s, and so on. Eventually, we will have 1 star for each number in the file so that we can see the distribution of grades. In order to get a program that does this, we need to do the following steps. Step 1 is going to be read the grades. And this is a natural list into a list. It's a list situation. So we're going to read the grades into a list. That's step 1. Step 2 is going to be count the number of grades per range. And step 3 is going to be write the histogram to the file. Whichever file the user picks. This process of writing down the steps at a very high level is called top-down design. When we first get a problem, it's often a bit overwhelming wondering how we're going to accomplish this the whole task, so we break it down into steps. Once we decide on how we're going to store our data, we can do these steps in any order that we like because they are roughly independent and we can test each of them separately. Let's start a new program. And let's take some notes. We'll get those scribbles down into text.